Hi, my name is Kristin Kaufman. Welcome. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, I am in the business of helping people become the best leaders they can be. My company, Alignment, which I formed about 16 years ago, is all about helping individuals, teams, groups, and organizations become aligned. Because I believe that when we are aligned, we are most definitely at our most powerful. So I'm actually in the middle of a series of videos that I'm offering to my followers about the 6 ways that you can stand out. Little tips and techniques that you can use to stand out. I actually created this series of videos because my clients asked me to. Many of them are in mid to senior level executive roles in large Fortune 50 companies. They're wanting to distinguish themselves. They're wanting to be the person that is thought of for the next promotion or the next global market that they're going to penetrate. Many of my clients are entrepreneurs and they're wanting to stand out in the field in which they are offering their product or service. And still others of my clients are in the nonprofit arena or in the educational arena, and they're wanting to stand out so that they obviously can be more successful with their donors and or their constituents, or they're wanting to stand out because they want to be eligible for the next leadership role in their educational system. So whatever field you're in, whatever position you're in, what I'm going to share with you will most certainly be helpful to you throughout your career at whatever station you're in today. So the first week, I talked about some very basic things on how to stand out. Things like being current, I believe that being current is the new currency in today's world. So if you're interested in hearing what I shared in the first video, you can find that by scrolling in my YouTube channel. This video is going to be all about what I'm going to phrase as the company you keep. My mother reared us, my sister and I, believing that we most certainly are a product of the company we keep. And many of you all are probably familiar with the factoid that we are a combination of the 5 people that we hang around the most. So we have to choose carefully. Today, I want to actually focus on a few people that I think are pivotal in creating a career that will be not only a long-standing career, but one that will give you upward mobility, if indeed that's what you're looking for. So the first person that I think is really important to have in your sphere is what I'm going to call the connector. The connector is the person who pretty much knows anybody in pretty much any field that perhaps you might want to tap into. I have been super fortunate to meet a number of connectors in my career. Many of them are so generous. They will introduce you to anyone that they think potentially when you cross paths would spark some sort of mutual interest and or mutual benefit for both parties. So find that connector. Typically, you can find that person by following them on social media. They're the person that people are constantly wanting to tap into. A lot of these people are the people that are hosting the mastermind. They're hosting the book clubs. They're hosting networking events. And they're the people who primarily are extroverted. To be honest, I'm an introvert. So I love surrounding myself with extroverted connectors because they help me meet people that perhaps I wouldn't have met on my own. So when you're creating this company of people, a lot of people might call it their personal board of directors. One of the people that you definitely want to have on that list is a connector. Okay, the second person, and you need more than one of these. I'm going to call this the mentor. And I will tell you, there's no way in the world that I would have had the career that I had I not had mentors. I had mentors in pretty much every aspect of my career and pretty much every company that I was a part of. Now, I want to talk a little bit about when I'm talking about mentors, what I'm talking about, because these mentors do not always have to be people that are ahead of you in your career. Yes, that is one. They can be the people that are ahead of you in your career. They're the people that will help you navigate. They'll have a vision for where they think you might want to go. They might have perspective relative to company politics and how potentially you can navigate those. That mentor in the company in which you work is really, really important. You need to have more than one. I think I had at one point about 5 or 6 in the company for which I worked. They were watching my back. They were looking for opportunities. They were promoting me. They were helping me navigate the politics. They were helping me avoid the landmines. They were teaching me skills that I didn't have. So having a mentor that is ahead of you in your career it's necessary, it's vital, and I think it's very pivotal. The second kind of mentor that I think is also really helpful is someone who's younger than you. Someone that might be, in fact, even quote unquote beneath you in your company. Those are the new generation. And what I love about having mentors like that, and I have a few in my world today as an entrepreneur, they are so savvy. They're savvy on technology. They're savvy on social media. They're savvy on a market that is frankly 20 years in my rearview mirror. So it helps me to stay current and relevant to that market and to that generation. And that's helpful. So you can have mentors that are not just mentors ahead of you in your career. They can actually be people that are not even in your field, but they might be in a different demographic, in a different generation, with a different area of expertise. So that is the second kind of mentor, and they can mentor you with regard to technology or that generation or social media, etc. The third kind of mentor that, again, I think is really, really important are the people that are in a different field altogether. And I have mentors that they're not entrepreneurs. They're not even from technology. They're in healthcare. They're in nonprofit. They're in education. They're in my church. And they are helping me build my global perspective, my overarching perspective of the industry, of the world, of how I can cross-pollinate my expertise with theirs or with others. They give me a different perspective. So again, having mentors that are not even in your vertical or in your company is so important, because it gives you a broader perspective. Frankly, it helps you keep perspective on how you can add value that may not really be in your purview right now, but it lets you look outside the box on how you can potentially contribute. And ultimately, you might even pivot altogether. Frankly, one of my mentors who was incredibly influential to me, I met when I was a first line manager back in the 80s when I was in the technology company. And he navigated me through the next 30 years of my career. And ultimately, I'm doing what I'm doing now because of the introductions and the exposure that I was given because of his mentorship. So do not limit your feeling of having mentors that it has to be someone in your company or your vertical that's ahead of you. You need that, of course. You also want folks that are beneath you that might have different expertise, that are younger than you, that might have a completely different perspective on the world. And you also want people that are outside of your industry, outside of your company, that can give you exposure and potentially introduce you to how you can cross-pollinate what it is you have to offer. So that is my perspective on mentoring. Certainly, it goes without saying that you need the connector. And you also, the last person that I will say that you might want to consider adding to your board of directors, your personal board of directors, is a sponsor. Your sponsor is the person, typically it's your boss, but not always. It's the person that is taking you under their wing as their protege, as the person that is going to help you get to wherever you want to be. And I've had two really, really, really important sponsors in my life. And I would never, ever have been given the opportunities that I was given without the sponsors. So that is my quick perspective on mentoring and your personal board of directors, having the connector and having the sponsor, surrounding yourself, that posse of people that are your personal board of directors. They're the people, the company that you keep, and they will definitely distinguish you and help you to stand out and to help you to navigate as you move forward in your career. If this has been of interest to you, this is only the second of 6 short videos that I'm offering to people to help them figure out ways to stand out in whatever field you find yourself in today. If this has been helpful, would love to hear from you. Comment below. Follow me on YouTube because I will be posting these videos consistently. And again, thank you so much for joining. My name again is Kristin Kaufman. You've just had a seat with Kristin. Hopefully it's been of help, and I would love to hear from you as to other topics that you would like for me to cover going forward. Make it a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you the next time.